This is a short video showing how I turned an old dated wicker dining set that looked like this into a modern and stylish version that now looks like this, all while getting to satisfy the inherent caveman in me and light something on fire. My wife had this dining set before we met 30 years ago. It was the bomb before being the bomb was even a thing. However, it was definitely showing its age, and for the last 5 or 6 years we had talked about replacing it, but it had always fallen into the low priority list of things to do, well, at least in my eyes. But more recently, let's say the persuasion had grown in intensity. We both liked the glass look, and the top was in great condition. Being a fixer, and sometimes lazy, I was torn between saying, go pick one out and have it delivered, and I think I can make something that would look a lot better. I started to look online for base designs that would modernize the look. There were a lot of cool looking designs. Some would be fairly simple to build, while others would take quite a bit of manufacturing. It was around this time that my wife said, can't you use the existing base somehow? I wasn't sure, but I knew that it would save a lot of time if I could. It was covered in wicker rattan, and I didn't know what lied beneath. I didn't know if it would be structurally sound enough to support the glass top after removing the wicker. The glass is very heavy. Side note here, I just learned the difference between wicker and rattan. Wicker is the way something is woven. Rattan is an actual substance from a plant. Hence, the proper wording is actually wicker rattan weave. Who knew? I decided to give it a try. I started by using a box cutter to remove some of the rattan. I quickly found out that there was an adhesive under the layer, and I knew that wasn't going to take a lot of work to deal with. Removing all that sticky glue was going to be a pain. Scraping it off, especially on a rounded surface, didn't sound like fun. Using a gallon of solvent didn't sound good either. Then it hit me, why not kill two birds with one stone and just burn it all off? Build a fire in my outdoor fireplace, set that sucker on top and see what happens. I wasn't sure how well the rattan would burn or if the frame would warp or get damaged, but I figured what the heck, give it a try. One thing I will say is that the rattan lit like a torch. I'm not sure if they make this stuff more fireproof today, but we're lucky we never got a candle too close to those pieces in our house. If you ever need kindling, that's your stuff. Most of it was gone in the matter of minutes. I had to flip the unit on each of the four sides, then from top to bottom to burn off all the stubborn glue. It took a bit longer to do that, probably around 30 minutes, but it was working. After taking the unit off the fire and letting it cool down, a quick examination revealed a sturdy, unwarped steel frame, free of all rattan and adhesive. I still wasn't sure how I was going to use the frame. I knew trying to cover the thing completely with wood or something else was going to be a pain and probably not give a very good look. I wanted a clean, more modern look. Keeping things simple and inexpensive, I thought, why not just use the same design concept as before? Go minimalistic on the materials. The plan was to smooth out all the previously hidden imperfections in the steel frame, spray paint it, then add what I'd call floating panels on each of the four sides. To make the panels float, I'd screw in long, smooth-shanked screws that I could twist in and out. I'd drill holes in the frame to allow the screws to slide in and support the floating panels. Each of the four areas where the panels were to go were 12.5 inches wide. I decided to use two 6-inch by 1-inch boards to fill the space. Doing this worked out perfectly because 6 by 1 boards are really 5.5 by 3/4. Adding the two boards together still left me about an inch of room to play with, and I was more than happy that I didn't need to rip cut any boards. More often than not, a little planning will save you some time and money. Once the plan was set, everything else came together fairly smoothly. I cut and sanded all the panels. I used 1/4-inch wood dowels with glue to join the panels in pair. I left about a 1/4-inch gap between them. I used 3-inch smooth shank screws to support the panels. I pre-drilled the holes in the wood so that the screws would hold but also be loose enough to be able to turn in and out with a pair of needle nose pliers. After screwing in the screws, I cut the heads off with my Dremel tool. I stained the wood panels with a color that would match the legs of the new chairs my wife had ordered. I applied 2 coats with light sanding between. I used a water-based stain with some gloss to save time over an oil-based option. I spray painted the base with a look described as forged hammer. The color was burnished amber. It took 2 cans. The base frame already had adjustable feet, which I removed before setting it ablaze. I reattached those. It also had 4 holes on the top to insert small suction cups to keep the glass top from sliding off. I replaced those with some new ones. I also added 2 self-adhesive clear bumpers to each of the 4 top supports to further cushion the glass. The cost for all the materials was about $125. The chairs were purchased online for $60 each, so the total cost for the upgraded dining room set was $365. Not bad. I'd say money well spent for a dramatic different look. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, consider subscribing. I post a lot of how-to and do-it-yourself stuff. Please comment as well.